Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our very cute candy faux book holder craft. Now you can see mine here. I've made two already. I just thought they were super cute. I couldn't help making them, and you can hear my candy jingling inside. And the candy that we are going to use are the cute naughty or nice Tic Tacs that you can go ahead and find out at like your local store. I just thought these were a fun little gift that if you wanted to give or stick in a stocking, they would be cute and fun. And I thought, let's dress it up a little and find a fun, creative, and decorative way to, hand it out. This would make a great gift too for like coworkers and stuff. Neighbors. It's just fun and it's kind of cheap too. If you're like in a country though and you don't have these candies, then this design would work really good. Like if you wanted to give a monetary gift, when you open it up, like I'll show you here for a second. When you open it up, you've got like the to and the from, and then this fun little holder, like you could roll up a bill of some kind and just kind of stick it in there. And it would still be a fun little gift here. So let's get started now with our assembly. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue for all of my gluing. And as you can see, I've got all of my pieces here cut out. I don't really have them stacked in any order here for gluing, but we're ready to start. Okay, so I've got this piece here. This is going to be like the base of our book holder, and you can see it's double-sided cardstock. And so I just thought this was a fun and pretty little design for me to use. I had a lot of fun, choosing these ones here that I already did. And so what you can see with this double-sided cardstock and what you should have with yours is that yours also has these score lines on it. And we've got two long score lines that are running right down the length of it, and that's where we're going to start our fold. So I'm going to just put it down here on my table and then just fold right on that first line. Then I'm going to use my bone folder, and you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're using yours today because we want this score line here to be really, really crisp and sharp. Okay, if you don't have a bone folder, you can use a ruler, and I've got one here, so I'm going to fold here on the second line that I have, and I'm going to use my ruler. So if you don't have the bone folder, you can use a ruler, and it's basically the same thing. Just press it down right on that score line just to make sure that it's crisp there. All right, you can hear it's like hitting my table. That's how hard I'm pressing to make sure that it stays. Okay, and then as soon as you do that, you can already see the shape begin to form. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece. So I've got this long piece here, and this one also has score lines, and they're facing up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fold again right on all of these score lines. So I'm going to use my bone folder here for these longer pieces, or the longer score lines that are part of this one. And I'm going to go all the way around, just making sure that I get all of those score lines down, making sure that they are crisp. And then the tabs here, I can just use my fingers for those because they're kind of small. All right, so I've got those two, and now this side with those two. Okay, so now we're ready for gluing. And this is where it doesn't really matter how you glue them, but if you want it to look really nice, I'm going to show you that we're going to glue it in a very specific way, okay? So choose a side, and what we're going to do is we're going to add glue now to one of the tabs. Hopefully I told you I'm using my art glitter glue. I can't remember if I said that, but that's what I'm using. I always use it, so art glitter glue. That's what I'm using. All right, so I'm going to add glue now to this tab here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it to the outside of this longer tab, okay? And I'll show you why when we finish that we're going to glue it down in this specific way. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing now on the opposite side, adding glue right here. And I'm gluing it down again to the outside. Okay, so now we're going to flip to the other side. I'm just going to bend this here to make sure like it makes that 90-degree angle there. Now for the other side, I'm going to glue it to the inside part of this longer tab. All right, so I'm going to add glue hopefully you guys can see, to both of these tabs here. And then I'm going to glue it to the inside. And I'm going to hold on to it here just for a second to make sure that my glue is bonding and my paper is sticking. Okay, now, so we've got one on the outside, one side on the outside, and one side on the inside. We're going to take our book piece here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the box here that doesn't have a lid, which is kind of what we just created, that has the tabs on the outside, and we're going to make sure that these tabs get glued to the fake spine here of our book. So let me fold this way so you guys can see it. We're going to make sure that it gets glued to this fake spine. Now, the reason why we're doing it this way is so that way when we don't have anything here in our box, we don't see the tab here on the inside, okay? Then the reason why the other side is glued on the inside is so that way when we look at the side, we again don't see those tabs. They're tucked away on the inside. So all the tabs are kind of hidden. Does it really matter? No, but it kind of helps it to look nice. So if you want to, that's the way to glue it, okay? If you already glued it and it's not like this, that's okay. You know, no big deal. It's fine just the way it is. But this is a way to make it kind of add that extra pizzazz, all right? So now we're gonna take our glue again, and we're gonna add glue now to the bottom here of our box. So just add glue everywhere to the bottom, making sure you're really getting around the edges and definitely there in the center. Oh, perfect. That was on that side. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the box right here with the box outline that's here on the bottom of our pattern cardstock. All right. And so just add it lightly there and make sure that it's lining up. Okay. And then once you have it and you know like it's in the right spot, then just press it down and make sure that the glue is bonding. So that way it's really secure here. Okay, and now we're ready to glue the spine. So then just add glue to the side piece here. Make sure that you're adding to the boxed side piece and not the pattern cardstock side piece, because the box will tell you exactly how much glue and where you need to add the glue. All right, and then again, just press everything there and make sure that the spine glues to the box. Okay, so now we are ready to do kind of like our to and from side. And so this one, again, you need to be really careful and really specific, because if it's going the wrong way, then you're going to see that it's not going to line up as nice and neat, okay? So no matter what way you want it to go, well, this larger outline piece has this little notch, which is going to hook here. And so what you want to do is make sure though that your piece, both of your pieces are lining up. And so you've got like that outer edge there. Okay. So I'm going to put this one here and just kind of make sure that it looks right. I'm going to take off this top piece and again, just put that one there. And I'm going to flip this one over to make sure that I'm adding glue to the correct side. Okay. So I'm just going to add glue everywhere. And then I'm going to press it down and I'm going to line up that notch right at the hole, which is where our twine or our ribbon is going to go through. Okay, so just press that down. And then I'm going to, again, just kind of line that up, make sure it looks good, looks great. And then I'm going to add glue now to the back of this piece. That was way more glue than I think I needed there, but c'est la vie. And then I'm going to just kind of eyeball that right there in the center. Does it have to be perfect? No, but you definitely like don't want to have it too far to the right or the left or up and down. You do kind of want to like make sure that it's in the general correct area. Okay, so now we are left with this piece. And so this piece is going to kind of sit right here towards the bottom of our box. And it's going to be kind of like a holder to make sure that our candy doesn't just fall out, or if you're using currency that it just doesn't fall out when you open it up, okay? So again, you can see with this piece, it's got score lines, and so I'm just gonna use my hands for this one, and you just wanna fold right along all of those pieces there. And then we're gonna glue it down. And you can hear my glue. It's like on its last leg, I think. And I'm just adding glue now to connect these here. I'm gonna hold it here for a second just to make sure it bonds. And then adding it there now to that side. And again, just holding it and making sure it bonds. All right. Now, once you have that piece, again, just kind of squeeze the paper there to create those angles. And I'm gonna hold it here now towards the bottom, and I'm gonna add glue to all of these side pieces here. Okay, don't go crazy with the glue, but you definitely wanna make sure that you've got enough there. And what I'm going to do next is I'm holding it still like this, and I'm just going to add it right here on the inside of my box. And it's going to be a little difficult because that tab is there at the bottom, and it's like not going to want to work, okay? But you want it to be really fitted in there so that way it doesn't push out, and that way it looks seamless, okay? All right, so there we go. All right, we're almost done. It's probably turning out to be a longer video than I expected, but c'est la vie again. All right, so we've got like our holly here, and so all I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of glue right there, and I should have lined it up first because let's hope that's the right way. Oh, perfect. So I just glued those two pieces together, the holly there and the green. Then I'm gonna hold it, add glue now to the back of this. And this is just for this little piece here. It's just to add something to it so that way it's not just plain and empty looking there. Okay, and let's do the front piece. So now we're left with this kind of present for the front of our box or our book holder here. And I'm just adding glue now to the back of this layer here. And oh, that glue just went right through. This is another one where like you can have fun with choosing what color that you want, because you want to kind of have something that goes with your pattern cardstock there at the front. And so this blue kind of goes with the blue that's on the front of mine. And I don't have, oh, I do have a paper towel here. Let me just get this glue that's seeping through. And of course, it's probably going to do that. All right, I should probably use my push pin there to really clean it. I'm just going to get some of this glue away so that way when I take my picture, it doesn't look awful. And now I'm going to add the bow here. And of course, I just bent it, but that's okay. All right. So again, just add a little bit of glue now to the back of this one here, the bow, just kind of going all the way across. And then you want to line it up right where the top of this notch here is coming off. So just place it down and then line it up. And it really just fits right across there and it looks cute. Okay, and then we're going to add glue now to the back of the entire piece so that way we can glue it down to the front. We are almost done. Okay, now when you go though to put this down, you can see the box here, right? And you can see the hole, which is where the twine is going to go through so we can kind of tie it together. What you want to do is take your present and just kind of eyeball it right next to that hole there, and then just press it down. Okay, there we go. And now we're ready to add everything inside. And so you can see I've got my candy here. You just press it right in. It's going to feel snug. I'm pushing down and then I can just push it right in and it pops right in. And when I go to take it out, again, I'm pushing down just a little bit and then it pops right out. Okay. So it's just a nice, cute little fit there. And you want to make sure that you've got like some twine or some string. You know, use whatever goes with your pattern cardstock. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use twine for this one because I think like this red and white here is going to clash. So I feel like the twine is going to go well. So I'm going to fish the twine right through the little 2 holes there. And I'm going to make a little knot. And you can kind of make your bow any way that, you know, works for you. Okay. Don't pull the knot too tight because then you might rip the hole. Okay. Because it's really close to the edge. Don't pull it too tight, but then just kind of make your bow here. And when you have it how you want it, so I've got that one that way, and that's kind of big. So I'm going to pull this through here and this side there, and then just tighten it up. And that looks good now. And then just take your scissors, you know, and cut it down a little bit. Okay. And that finishes it. So I hope you guys like this one. It's cute. It's really easy. And it's functional. All right. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have fun crafting. Bye now.